You hit every KPI. You optimize your sleep cycles and meditate to manage the friction of the work week. By any objective measure, you have mastered the performance of living. Yet on a Tuesday evening, you sit in the silence of your home feeling entirely hollow. You have built a perfect vessel, but you've left it empty. This exhaustion stems from an ingrained worldview that treats the universe as a cosmic courtroom. We act as permanent defendants in a high-stakes trial, perpetually apologizing for the basic crime of being human. In this framework, God is a distant, stern judge, and every action is a high-pressure attempt to avoid calamity. This fear-based operating system forces us to offer rigid obedience in place of actual intimacy. We survive the day, but we starve for what the ancient texts call rasa, the raw emotional juice that makes life feel like a celebration rather than a grind. Kanv Sachdev's manual, The Krishna Consciousness, introduces an ancient operating system centered on absolute delight. It presents the absolute not as a judge to be feared, but as a lover, a friend, and a divine strategist. Real liberation requires stepping out of the courtroom entirely. It demands mastering a specific, paradoxical new framework, the balance of divine romance and ruthless strategy. The divine doesn't want your fearful submission. Any worldly tyrant can extract that. Instead, we encounter a rebel god who demands your unshielded affection and your willingness to play. This is the mystery of the butter thief, the source of all dharma sneaking through windows to shatter clay pots and steal churned dairy. The rigid clay pot is your carefully constructed ego, the defensive identity you built to survive. Hidden inside is the butter, the purest essence of your love and attention. By any ordinary measure, the theft is a crime, but on the level of the soul, it is a rescue mission. When you refuse to offer your essence, the universe throws a stone. Sudden job loss, heartbreak, or a plan that collapses without warning are the impacts that shatter the container. The divine is not punishing you, he is breaking the shell that was keeping your butter from him. We see the same logic in the flute. Just as dead bamboo must be hollowed and wounded with holes to produce music, the heart must be emptied of pride. To become a divine instrument, your vulnerabilities become the apertures through which the melody escapes. Spiritual intimacy is the reward for being broken open. It replaces the hardness of the mace with the softness of the flute. But life eventually leaves the forest for Kurukshetra, a high-stakes battlefield requiring ruthless strategy. This philosophy becomes a survival tool for the modern world. The Gita's schematic. The chariot is your body. Horses are your senses. Passenger is your soul. Driver is your intellect. Burnout is a technical failure here. When the driver gets exhausted by decision fatigue, the horses take over and the chariot veers off course. The cure is saranagati, the act of handing the reins to a higher divine intelligence. You officially resign as the driver. This doesn't mean you stop fighting. You still show up to the battle, but you detach your identity from the outcome. You perform the action with total intensity while remaining indifferent to the results. Letting cosmic intelligence navigate allows you to participate in the game without the paralyzing fear of losing. The work becomes cleaner because the anxiety is gone. Adopting the Krishna consciousness relieves you of the exhausting burden of playing the general. When you stop trying to force the universe into a shape that suits your ego, you are finally free to act as the friend. This shift leads to the Vishvarupa, the universal vision, where every isolated event is revealed as a thread in a single blazing organism. You see that the past and the future are happening simultaneously in a roaring present. Here, the assumption that you are the central protagonist of reality dissolves. You realize you are a player in Leela, a divine dance that has been occurring since the beginning of time. As the driver and the destination are revealed to be the same, the struggle of the journey evaporates. Because your soul is naturally pulled toward its source like a magnet to iron, the arrival is certain. You can fight with total passion because the ending is already held by a love that cannot fail. For anyone currently exhausted by the performance of the modern grind, the Krishna consciousness offers a practical path toward this spiritual intimacy. Look for the blue and gold cover on your screen. Click the link below to purchase your copy and finally join the dance.